Step-by-step instructions. You need a bowl, a bit like this one, and some eggs, sugars, granulated sugar, caster sugar, butter, margarine. We'll go through these as we go through, and obviously some scales to weigh them out on. Okay, so the cake we've chosen to make today, actually that's not me, that's my mum, and it's going to be the lemon flavour cake, but you can choose Victoria sponge, coffee, mint, orange or chocolate. For coffee, use 2 tablespoons of coffee granules. For mint, use peppermint essence. For orange juice, whole orange, and for chocolate, use cocoa powder. So, here it is at the moment. What I'm doing is I'm making the paper to line the heart-shaped tin, but you can use any shaped tin if you want. If you don't have a tin, you can always use a Metal Roses or Quality Street tin. Now, first step I did just before this, as I say, that's not me, that's my mum, I've not got hands like that, and is to light your oven and let it begin warming up. Gas Mark 4 or 150 degrees. Next, so lining the tin so it doesn't stick to the side, so lining it with paper. So first line the tin with newspaper, like this. Don't have to be too precise, just cut some general shapes out and stick them to the side. Doesn't matter what newspaper you use, it can be anything. There we go. Okay, all in. And then once you've lined it with newspaper, you need to place in greaseproof paper. So, here we go. This is a bit fiddly, isn't it? Did you find this fiddly, Dan? Okay. So, draw on the base to get the bottom, and then cut long strips to go on the sides. They don't need to be in one piece at all. Okay. So I'm putting a little bit of butter on these, just so it kind of sticks, or rather, the cake actually doesn't stick to it. There we go. Here's a strip with a folded end, so it fits down at the bottom there. I think you saw me do that earlier on. So why do you need paper down to do the paper? Why do you need paper in there?
So the cake will stick to the tin.
So it doesn't stick to the tin?
Yeah.
Just comes out nicely? I get it. So you put the butter side against the tin. See, I'd have thought it'd be the other way around. And then the butter side down in the tin, there's that heart shape going in there. So butter side down against the newspaper. I think our tin's nearly ready to go though, isn't it? Now, step 3 is to prepare the cake. I've used 2 lemons and grated the rind and squeezed the juices out of the lemons. Okay, place in a dish or cup to use later. Then there's 8 ounces of butter here and 8 ounces of sugar, exactly equal amounts, so it's quite easy to remember. Put them into a bowl and mix together really thoroughly until you get a really creamy mixture. There we go. And then 8 ounces of self-raising flour in a bowl and crack 4 eggs into it. There's the 8 ounces of flour, self-raising flour, and they're the 4 eggs. Okay. Add equal amounts of egg, flour, and lemon rind or juice to the butter-sugar mixture, mixing in well until it's really creamy. This is looking great already. There we go. Last of the eggs. So you add extra eggs to this then, do you? So you kind of...
You do it in bits, you do 4 eggs.
Yeah.
Mix
Right.
it,
Right.
roll it half egg.
Okay, so I'll read through that again. So you add equal amounts of egg, flour and lemon rind to the butter sugar mixture until it's creamy. So there's two kind of times there. So it's got to have a lot of eggs in this, isn't it? Then you place mixture in the tin, which should reach half the depth, half the way up there. If you don't have enough mixture, then just mix up a little bit more and add to it. It's easy enough. There we go. Now this recipe is based on a 4-ounce mix, which is 4 ounces of sugar, 4 ounces of butter, 4 ounces of flour, and 2 eggs. Okay, cook in the middle of the oven. Check the cake periodically. If it's burning, turn it down. And cooking time varies, but really probably about 45 minutes to an hour. Okay. Check if the mixture is cooked. Pierce the centre of the cake with a thin metal skewer or knife. Okay, now it's cooled, and we're going to put on here the buttercream, aren't we? Okay, so we slice the cake in half, removing the top layer. Be careful moving the layers. Don't break them in half. If you do, don't despair. They can be glued together actually with buttercream, which is often called dirty icing. Okay, so place a filling of your choice in the cake. I've chosen buttercream and lemon curd, but you could choose strawberry jam, fresh fruit pies, fresh fruit pieces, cream, or anything of that ilk really. If you're going to make buttercream, then blend together 1 tablespoon of butter to 4 tablespoons of icing sugar. I'll say that again. 1 tablespoon of butter to 4 tablespoons of icing sugar, so 4 to 1 mix. Okay, then you spread the jam or preserve or lemon curd onto one side of the cake and buttercream onto the other. Okay, there you get your 2 halves of the sandwich. Then you've got to place them together carefully. Good. Now we're covering the cake in fondant icing, so we need to dirty ice or put buttercream on the outside so that the fondant will stick to the cake. Okay, so once covered, place the cake in the fridge overnight for the buttercream to harden. This is not a very, very quick recipe, but it's well worth the wait. So for fondant icing for the cake, okay, you can get ready to roll icing, which you can get from supermarkets or on the internet. So fondant is actually white and can be coloured using food colouring paste. Got some nice red one in here. Look at this. Okay, any food colouring will go. Place a small amount of icing sugar on a board and roll out the fondant. Turn in regularly so it doesn't stick. It needs to be about 3 millimeters thick. There we go. I love this part. Fold it over your rolling pin and gently place over your cake. Watch this skill in a second. Yep, okay, and gently fold over the cake. Place over the cake. There we go. Nice and easy. That. And then with your hands gently press the fondant to the cake. Beautiful. Press it down right against the board. Trim away the edges with a knife, and there you have it, a beautiful Valentine's cake. If you want to be extra special, you can get a little stencil and just dig it into the side there for a really professional look. It's actually called a cake quilting tool. Beautiful. Chocolates are then placed on the top of the cake to create a box of chocolates. Fold it over that leftover icing here to make a ruffle. A tissue paper effect, we call it. Wow. And then chocolates on top. It is just like a box of chocolates. This is an amazing cake. Right, making a lid. Okay, piece of cardboard, cut out the shape of size of the tin using the cake tin, and roll out fondant to match the outside of the cake, and there you have it. Fantastic. Look at that. You can do it. It's quite easy.